is a pleasant good evening. I'm Daniel Ankra. This is LNTV News Live, 30 minutes of major news events in Liberia and other parts of our global community. Thanks for joining us tonight. Top stories we follow. The Monrovia City Court have sent former Bank Governor Milton Weeks, current Deputy Governor Charles Relief, and Director of Banking Double Haba to jail in connection with the alleged printing of excess Liberian dollars. Big boost for the Liberian government as bilateral talks with Israeli officials yields lots of goodies in agriculture, health, and other sectors as President Weah and delegation return from Israel. Do not politicize or make religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabina Janet, says Special Envoy and Advisor to the President, Dr. Larry Brooklyn. And away from home, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. These stories plus much more coming up tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. In our top story tonight, former Central Bank Governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor for Operation Charles Relief, and Double Haba, Director of Banking, have been sent to the Monrovia Central Prison awaiting court trial. Former Governor Weeks and the 2 CBO officials and 2 others who are still at large were charged by the Monrovia City Court for economic sabotage, misuse of public funds, criminal conspiracy, and criminal facilitation, among others. The 2 CBO officials who are still on the run are Joseph Dennis and Richard Walker. As you see in the video watching, the Liberian National Police last week began an operation arresting individuals deemed culpable in the illegal printing and circulation of the alleged missing 16 billion Liberian dollar banknotes. The Monrovia City Court Monday issued a writ of arrest for the 5 immediate past and current CBL officials. According to the charge sheet, the defendants were taken to court by the government through the Ministry of Justice to answer to charges for their alleged involvement in the 16 billion Liberian dollar saga. Our judicial reporter said Weeks, Sirleaf, and Hagwa are being kept in prison until a bond is to secure their release. According to our reporter, the case is expected to be tried at one of the criminal courts at the Temple of Justice. To our next story now. President George Weah Sunday returned to the country after his official visit from the State of Israel. President Weah, accompanied by his entourage, received a rousing welcome from government officials, including others who went to welcome him at the Rabat International Airport. Julius Compton has got a report.
Flanked by his wife and members of his entourage, the Liberian leader received a traditional welcome from the garden men and women of the armed forces of Liberia, followed by members of his cabinet. Giving an overview of his trip, President Weah termed his visit to the State of Israel as very successful.
Our meeting went well. Mashaf agreed to build capacity and bring this innovation to Liberia to help us grow our sector. So the trip was very successful. You know, we know the history of the Bible. We visited sites and we had the opportunity, you know, to visit. And I'm glad. And then we are back to put our team together to go back to Israel so we can start working for our people.
On the issue of the 16 billion investigation, Dr. Weah said his government is transparent in fighting corruption.
We are transparent, and the only way they could believe that is to get an international group to probe into this allegedly 16 billion missing, and which of course we all know that our government was going to be vindicated. So we brought in the U.S. Embassy to help us, and today crew were able to give determination what happens. So I hope now Liberians are all you are happy, you know, and that there's no 16 billion missing, and whatever happens now, the fundings, other fundings, you know, of course, you know, when you try to get information, a lot of things come up, and all of the things that are coming up now, we hope that the process will be also transparent, and those that have done something, we'll go through the due and process it, and when everything is done, I hope that Liberia will be in peace.
He recommitted his government to the promotion of peace and development of the country.
It's for all of us, and then we want to keep it peaceful. But again, I will ask all Liberians, going to the street without information is wrong. I think you should get facts before you get into what we call rioting. Because again, I want to thank the police and our security apparatus, because they have done so well. They give you a human right, to go to the street. But let us refrain from anyone making a statement that you can substantiate and just jump into the street. Our government is here to promote peace and to make sure that the country is developed.
The chief executive said it is about time to focus on development because the country has suffered for too long. He said going to the streets to protest without files and evidence is wrong, calling all Liberians to see Liberia as a bigger picture. Reporting for LNTV News from the Rabos International Airport, I am Julius Compton.
Well, thanks to Julius Compton for that report. Well, more news from Israel now. The governments of Liberia and Israel, through bilateral relations, have secured a partnership to improve Liberia's health sector. The partnership is expected to positively affect the JFK hospital, as well as provide more ideas on women and children issues and improve the country's response to emergency situation. Deputy Press Secretary to the President, Smith Toby, was on the trip, and back in studio, he has been giving us details.
Investment Commission chair, for example, there was a summit, a forum for Israel, Liberia in terms of investment opportunities, where investors and companies and individuals who are how Israel can help us in our health sector. I got to know during the meetings that Israeli had the engagement here during the Ebola crisis. I didn't even know that until I heard it come out of a discussion with the president. And they've once again recommitted to come to GFP to provide some basic health need for the people of Liberia through trying to revamp the John F. Kennedy Medical Center. They got so much interest in that health facility. They want to see the country once again attacking, emergency. So out of the discussion, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Health was indeed a part of it. They will be concentrated on women and children issues, and then providing the emergency, trying to improve our response to emergency issues. So,
well, Liberia is still open for investment, and as such, Deputy Press Secretary Smith Toby says, or has disclosed, that a forum to enlighten Israeli investors on opportunities in Liberia was also high on the agenda.
Investment Commission chair, for example, there was a summit, a forum for Israel, Liberia in terms of investment opportunities, where investors and companies and individuals who are desirous of coming to Liberia to invest in the country, and we have to present a case convincing the investors of Israel as to the climatic condition of Liberia, the opportunities here, and the places of interest that they can come to invest. So that was a very big forum held. The president spoke at that forum, once again committing Liberia and showing the investors.
We have Israeli investors who are excited about coming to Liberia.
So excited. All of the investors that attended that forum had separate discussions with all of the sector ministers that attended the meeting after the official opening ceremony. And the NRC, what they did was they presented a PowerPoint a presentation at that forum, showing what we got in mining, what is there in the extractive industry, for example, what is there for us to do in education.
Deputy Press Secretary Smith Toby there speaking upon return from Israel along with the presidential team. The special envoy and advisor to the President, Rev Dr Larry Brooklyn, says there must be consequences for past and current officials of government who were involved in alleged missing money report. According to Dr. Brooklyn, he clearly believes that the President will stand up and ensure that anyone caught will be prosecuted.
Violators, knowingly or unknowingly, there must be consequences. The President has got to report. There has been some early implementation, some of the recommendations in terms of inviting people in for further conversation. The Minister of Justice and his chief jurist is leading that process. And I think we will see a President that will stand up. Because the report says there were some bad things that were done by previous administrative people, and there were some not so good things that were done by current people. I think you will see a mix. Do I believe that President Weah has got the will to implement judiciously? I say yes. And I don't think he will disappoint. The action or inaction of the President rests with him. My task is to offer pieces of advice. Mind you, what President Weah desires is to make sure that domestically our nation is cohesive, that the rule of law is exercised.
Rev Dr. Larry Brooklyn there. Well, he's also calling on Liberians not to politicize or make religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabina Jane.
We should stop religiousizing and politicizing things that occur in our country. It's not good for us. Remember, nobody made any complaint that there were 2 people from Nimba County on the Supreme Court bench. Nobody made any complaints about that. Now, I'm not saying this to belittle the point about whether Justice Janet go or stay. I told you not to delve into that. Sure. There were 2 people from one county. And nobody said, oh, we're happy or there's something wrong with it. It's got nothing to do with religion. And we need to be above board the way that we approach matters in the country.
He's Dr. Larry Brooklyn. He is a special envoy and advisor to the President. A prominent son of Sinai County BG Yinswa has termed as unacceptable the recent abuse of some women in his county by young people on grounds of traditional breach. According to Mr. Yinswa, the act by the violent young people in the county is even a violation of the country's traditional exercises. He spoke recently in an LNTV interview.
To condemn the situation in a stronger tone, because it's now a tradition, it's now our culture. I can remember back in the days, if I ought a zoo, catch a witchcraft, the only thing that is done is that for the zoo to turn the witchcraft over to the traditional people, and they deal with that witchcraft, they deal with the group traditionally, meaning to give them sasewu or whatsoever penalty that is leveled against them by the tribal people, but not to butt naked a woman in the street. That's a complete disgrace, and a disgrace to womanhood, a disgrace to the entire county, and disgrace to the country of Liberia. That's abuse of human rights. Because that.
He's BG Yinswa, an activist there speaking. Well, just before our break, ahead of the observance of International Women's Day, the Ministry of Transport held a special celebration on the sidelines of the event. International Women's Day usually is observed from March 1 to the 8th. The brain behind this sideline event is Assistant Transport Minister for Administration and Insurance, Noah Scott.
The Ministry of Transport chose to celebrate it on the 1st of March because normally we have activities from the 1st of March to the 8th. So we had our own side event today to to celebrate the achievements of women around the world and to also showcase the women in transport and what to do along with the men. And we think that was a very good thing, because what it has done today to them is that it has motivated them. It's made them proud of themselves. They never thought they could do this, because in the planning stage of this program, a lot of them were kind of hesitant as to whether this thing will succeed, whether they will be able to even showcase themselves or be able to even explain some of the technical things we do in transport. And I think you saw the young woman from meteorology division explaining what is the effect, what is the effect it has on women, what some of the importance it has in Liberia. Those are things that a lot of people didn't think were under the Ministry of Transport.
Assistant Transport Minister Noah Scott. If you're just joining us, a reminder that you're watching LNTV News Live, and I'm Daniel anchoring top stories to follow tonight. The Monrovia City Court sends former Bank Governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor Charles Relief, and Director of Banking Double Hagwa to jail in connection with the alleged printing of excess money. Big boost for the Liberian government as bilateral talks with Israeli officials use lots of goodies in agriculture, health, and other sectors as President Weah returns from Israel. Do not politicize or make religious the ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabina Janet, says Special Envoy to the President, Dr. Larry Brooklyn. Away from Liberia, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot died in the capital in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. When we return from the break, we'll join firstly Koluba Zize, who will bring us sports as we continue with LNTV News Live. Keep watching.
Blessed good evening and welcome to the sports, where we start with news from South Africa, where the former Nima County football player and also Liberia international player Mike Pay has signed a half-season contract with a first division club in South Africa. Mike Pay at the weekend signed the half-season contract with Cape Umoya United, team playing in the first division league in South Africa, where Mike Pay has been in South Africa a couple of weeks now, having trials with the first division club, and his performance doing training with the club impressed the technical staff members, who agreed to sign the player for the remainder of the South African Football League season. We are calling to the agreement. The club will negotiate with Leicester FC at the end of the season on signing the player on a permanent deal. Mike Pay currently was recently on the books of Leicester FC. He played for Nima County Football Club in the National County Sports Meet before joining Barracks Young Controllers, where he won several laurels. He was the most valuable player in the LFA League in 2015-2016, and we wish him a success in South Africa. Well, onto the pitch itself now. The former club of Mike Pay, Barracks Young Controllers, who are the defending football champions in Liberia, staged a second win in the ongoing LFA League at the weekend. BYC traveled to Kakata to ensure that they recorded a 2-0 victory over NPA anchors at the Nese Bido Stadium, with William Freeman netting in a brace in that encounter. Leicester FC fought hard to win Jubilee FC 1-0 at the Doris Williams Stadium in the port city of Bikana. It was the first time the first division football match occurred at that stadium in more than 8 years. Well, Watanga kept their farm form also on Sunday, beating Monera Club Bearers 1-0 at the S. Antoinette Totma Stadium. Also at the ATS, Small Town staged their first win of the season and winning their first game in the first division by beating FC Fasel 1-0. And Watanga, that's Nimba FC, and LPRC orders played a 0-0 draw in Kansas City, while Nima United played Ketris FC to a 2-1 victory at the North Star Stadium. The LFA League will continue with a couple of games tomorrow in the second division. Sam Johnson made his debut appearance at the weekend for U.S. Major League Soccer club Real Salt Lake when he featured in the 1-1 draw against Houston Dynamo. Sam Johnson came on in the 67 minutes after Dynamo had equalized in that match, and Sam Johnson was shown a yellow card just on the stroke of the match. And in kickball, where there were wins for CY, that's Young Star Sports Club, and Success Sisters against opponents they found difficult in beating in their history. Young Star Sports Club, or YSSCR, defeated Aries, a side that have been unbeaten for them, 8-3 home runs at the weekend, while Success United recorded their first win over CYE also at the weekend. And the champions Act Sisters staged a 13-3 home runs win over Watanga Girls, with kickball most valuable player Louis To scoring 4 home runs to inspire her side, who is missing several key players due to suspension by the LKF. And Vision Sister recorded the biggest win of the weekend, 26-2 home runs win over One United or Kukatana at the Duporo Baptist Fee. Well, that's it for the sports. We have more for you tomorrow evening. Bye-bye.
Many thanks to Kolubaz Zizidet for bringing us LNTV News Sports here right here this evening. Well, if you're just joining us, a reminder, this is LNTV News Live. Deputy House Speaker Prince Moore has officially launched a vocational and skills training program in his district in Bon County. According to him, capacity of the young people in the area of vocational education, especially in rural Liberia, is vital. He used the occasion to call on young people to make maximum use of the program for the betterment of the society.
It was not meant for sitting. It was meant for interior people. And you, the interior people, when they get it to your usual last day, nobody you can't say government small money. No. That's not the government that the World Bank sending here. It's meant for interior people. For your kind of usual last day fully. That's the only way we will be happy with that, brother. Thank you very much. And just by seeing you here, it tells me that you're ready for the school to start. And just by them inviting all the different important people and for them to lead that different job to come here, it tells me that we are about to kick off the vocational school.
Well, also speaking was Senator Henry Thapa of Bon County.
Importance of vocational schools education cannot be overemphasized. Those knowledge that you gain should not stop you from going forward. Of course, it could be enough to put rice on your table or bread on your table. So I will encourage you to take advantage of this, what Honorable Moy is bringing here.
Bon County Senator Dr. Henry Thapa. Well, Montserrat County lawmaker C.B. Bashel, who also visited Bon County for the event, had a few words to say. Well, we'll move on to
we are starting to tell you that we're going to give hope to you and give hope to this country. New breed of leaders are coming, and we're going to make sure this country goes forward. And that is why we're here today. Our efforts of being here is to support them. That means to support the CDC government. Now we're here. And because we're supporting them, so they don't get no excuse. So they don't get no excuse. Huh? That's what we're here for. We didn't do the one. You ain't allowed to do the one. You didn't do the one. We have here now, so you might have to go. So that means CDC is the government now, while Unity Party is the next government.
Well, moving on now, veteran Liberian journalist E. Blamo Robertson was on Saturday laid to rest. He died at the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital on February 11 after a brief illness. Julius Compton was at the funeral service, from where he now reports.
Tears, pain, and sober reflection characterized the funeral service of the late A. Blaman Robinson. The ceremony, unlike others, was dominated by fantastic songs from the Nightingale Choir of the Trinity United Methodist Church in the borough of Newtown, especially when the deceased's favorite song was raised by the choir. As the congregation just could not hold back their tears. Reading the official gazette at the funeral service was the Deputy Director General for Media Services at the Liberia Broadcasting System, T.T. Jibro.
Honorable Ebenezer Blambo Robinson, D.A., M.P.A., former Assistant Director General for News and Public Affairs, Assistant Director General for Radio, Director for Training, Executive Editor, Reporter Bureau of the System, Executive Producer, Radio Department, Coordinator, the FM Studio, Production Assistant, Radio Department, Liberia Broadcasting System, LBS respectively.
Well, thanks to Julius for that brief report. Markovic County District 2 Representative Ava Jones has dedicated a newly constructed district office in Cotton Tree, Markovic County. Well, Representative Jones said the office will be used to coordinate issues and affairs within the district.
If you look at how many librarians contribute in that, you understand only manpower. Entrepreneurship, no. Capital, no. So it means that 75% of what is generated is going back to, let's say, foreign land. If we must develop this country, all of the four, let librarians take 3.
Well, he is Representative Ava Jones. Well, the 10th Primate and Metropolitan Archbishop Daniel Safo of Kumasi, Ghana has promised to support the 11th Primate, Rev Dr Jenna Tom, in steering the affairs of the West African province. Archbishop Safo said during his 5 years as tenure, he got the full support of his colleagues, and as such, he will reciprocate to the Liberian Bishop Hart.
When we change our mindset, when we move forward, when we change our mindset, all of us are busy working in our respective diocese. All man the working in the diocese. We have no time for the province. Diocese don't pay their assessment. Diocese don't pay their dues, their subvention.
Rev Dr Jenna Tom Hart said the task of overseeing the several dioceses is challenging and will require the support of all members.
Until I read the promise handed over notes last evening, some of us take it for granted that running a church, and especially a province, is all fair. But to run a province such as ours, with 17 dioceses, all of us having financial constraints.
Well, it's time to get to foreign news now. 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. The aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff on Sunday. The incident happened on the remote Central Island National Park on Lake Turkana. We have a report. Well, folks, that's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for watching LNTV News Live. Before we leave you, recap of our top stories. Monrovia City Court sends former Bank Governor Milton Weeks, Deputy Governor Charles Relief, and Director of Banking Double Harbour to jail for their alleged involvement in missing excess Liberian dollars. Big boost for the Liberian government as bilateral talks with Italy officials yield fruits in agriculture, health, and other sectors. as the president and his delegation returns from Israel. Do not politicize or make religious. The ongoing impeachment trial of Associate Justice Kabina John says special envoy and advisor to the president, Rev Dr Larry Brooklyn. Away from Liberia, 4 Americans and a Kenyan pilot have died in a helicopter crash in northwestern Kenya. Thanks to all of you for following and watching tonight. I'm Daniel Ankara Ankot. Thanks to Koloba Zeze who brought you sports. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.